Hi there beautiful people, welcome back to another video and welcome to my channel if you're new. Hi, my name is Femke and for today I really wanted to do another nail art design again on my somewhat shorter nails. So I had just freshly redone my gel polish overlay, but since I'm working with regular nail polishes, I have decided to go in with a regular nail polish base as well before going in with the colors. As a base for this, I'm going to spoil it again, but you've already seen it in the thumbnail as well as the title of this video. As a backdrop for my hand painted roses design, I'm going in with Rosy Botastic by Catrice. Pretty much all of the polishes I'm using today are by Catrice from their new collection or updated collection. I am so obsessed with all of the colors. My previous video was actually me swatching all 37 new colors. Definitely check out that video if you haven't already, and just check out what colors you would like to get yourself, because they are vegan, they are cruelty free, they are very safe to use, and that is coming from me being pregnant for over 26 weeks now. Catrice is definitely one of my go-to brands for regular nail polishes, and they are really affordable as well, so definitely check it out. But I am going in with just one thick layer of this Rosy Botastic color. It is kind of like an off-white with just a little drop of pink in there. It's really gorgeous. It is very wearable. As I mentioned in my swatch video as well, there are a ton of colors in their new, I think it was called Gel Affair Nail Lacquer collection, that you can use for nail art, because they are not only very inexpensive, they are super, the quality is just insanely good, especially knowing that these are just a little below €3 a bottle. Pigmentation is bomb, I kid you not. I really love it. Even lighter colors like this one, if you apply a little bit of a thicker coat, you can just wing it with one layer, I kid you not. As you can see right here, I had a little less product on the brush while applying it to the pinky nail, and I overworked it a little bit on the nail as well, but you can easily fix that by just applying a little bit more polish to your nail surface, and yeah, you're pretty much good to go with just one coat, and I love that. I'm actually, while being pregnant, I already have a 1-year-old walking around here. He just started walking. It's crazy. He's only 14 months old at the moment, and it's just crazy to see how quick that development went from crawling to walking. It is crazy. But yeah, that's just a little side note. But let's continue with the nail design, because I kid you not, it has been a hot minute since I have done hand painted nail art designs. The last couple of years, nail art was one of the last things on my mind. I did a lot of swatches, reviews, stuff like that, but I'm really getting back into being my original self again. Let's just put it to that. Life has been quite hard on me the last 3.5 years, I'd say, with losing my firstborn girl, then getting pregnant with Aeon, who's 14 months, and now I'm pregnant with my third baby already. Yeah, nail art was one of the things that really wasn't on my mind, and I haven't done it in ages, so I'm really trying to reteach myself the things that I love to do and the things that I was actually quite good at. But to be honest, hand painted designs are always a little tricky, especially for me. I tend to have a little bit of a higher blood pressure, and that is also the reason why I get the shakes in my hands every now and then. It's not as bad as it used to be, and I have to say, now being pregnant again, it's not that bad at all. I really expected it to be way worse. But yeah, having the shakes in your hands and doing hand painted nail art designs, that can be quite a challenge. But yeah, I'm just going to wing it right here, because I tend to do so, and I tend to share my little experiences with you guys as well, just to show you that you don't need a lot of fancy items. You can just use regular nail polishes like I'm doing right here. You don't need a lot of expensive tools or anything like that, and you definitely don't need any nail art ninja skills to do a design like this. It's all about having fun, and at the end of the day, if you don't like the end result, you can just easily remove it, because we are working with regular nail polishes. So don't be scared to just try some new things out. Don't be scared to make mistakes, because I do make mistakes as well, even though I've been doing nails for like 2 decades already. Over 2 decades, I have to say. So yeah, you just really want to apply some of your favorite colors to create the roses. Once again, you can just choose whatever colors you'd like. I just went for like yellow roses, orangey peachy kind of roses, and a little bit more of deeper pink kind of rose. That is just because that are the type of roses I actually have in my garden, next to a couple of other ones. I actually do have some white and some very light pink ones, but I was like, just 3 colors is more than enough, especially knowing that my natural nails are quite short at the moment, or at least for me personally, they are quite short. So that is why I just decided to stick with those 3, and I'm just using dotting tools, and I'm going to use a little like nail art brush for the leaves. If you don't have any of these tools, you can use a lot of household items as well, like bobby pins or like sewing needles, the ones with like the ball ends. So yeah, there are a lot of different items you can use that you might have laying around the house already. Once again, you don't have to spend a ton of money to do cute nail art, especially if you're just doing this for fun like I am. And yeah, you know, just have some fun, just wing it and see what the outcome is, and just try it again if you don't like it. Like, practice makes perfect. And if you never try and never practice, you will never get the hang of it. So don't be scared to make mistakes. But after I have applied the first little layer, like the blobs of color where I wanted my roses to be, I'm going in with a darker green color to make some little leaves, and this is where my little nail art brush comes in, and I tend to press down the brush a little harder at the base of the leaf and just lift up or like flick up my brush towards the end of the leaf, and that way you can really make like beautiful, or not super beautiful I have to say, but you can make some really nice kind of natural looking leaves like that. It's really all in the like technique, I'd say, other than products. Like, you can use like super inexpensive stuff like I'm doing right here, and you can definitely make it work, you know. But yeah, once again, just wing it, just try it out. You can even like get a little piece of paper on forehand and just practice the flick of the brush if you want to. I just went straight into it because I like to challenge myself every now and then. I think it's been, I don't even know how long it's been since I've done a hand-painted design, like roses wise, like this one. I think it's been like 3 to 4 years or something. I really can't remember. I think it was even in my old house, and I've been living in my recent home for over 3 years already. So yeah, let's just say it's been 3.5 towards 4 years. That was actually the last time I did a hand-painted roses design. So yeah, I was like, I'm just going to challenge myself and wing this shit, you know? Oh, and for the record, if you're like, girl, your voice still sounds like you're like quite sick at the moment, that is just because I was finished with my 3rd cold, like the 3rd time being like quite sick this year already. So I was like 5 days perfectly fine. My airways were all free and breezy and light. And then the 4th cold hit me again. It is crazy. So yeah, I'm a little bit stuffy like around the nasal area. So if I sound a little nasally, that is why. It's a never ending cold this entire winter season. It is insane. I'm just really thankful I don't have the flu anymore or any fever or anything like that. But yeah, you know, life happens, shit happens, and that's just a little side note. But yeah, I have just finished my little like bases for the leaves. I have waited, I'd say like 5 towards 10 minutes before going in with the lighter shades for the roses. There will be like 3 layers as far as the roses go, and only 2 for the leaves, because I didn't really want the leaves to be like super, I don't know. They're there, but they're not the focus of this nail art. But yeah, I just go in with a lighter shade of the 3 base colors for the roses that I picked. It's okay if you mess it up a little bit, if you like press down a little too hard with your dotting tool or whatever kind of tool you are using. You just want to dab on a little bit of that lighter shade and just let it sit. If you feel like this looks like shit already, that's okay. Let it be. We will fix it with the 3rd layer. I promise. Just try it out. You'll see in the end result it will actually look really, really cute. And especially if you're not like onto your nails with like 20 centimeters looking down upon them, it will look really, really cute, I promise. And then again, it's a lot of fun to just go out, have people compliment you on your nails, and you can say, girl, I did these myself. You know, it's just a lot of fun to create your own nail designs instead of using like stamps or like those nail foils or anything like that. Of course, I use them every now and then. I do stamped nail designs every now and then. That's a lot of fun as well, but there's something special about creating your own nail art by hand. So yeah, if you've never done this before, I'd say let's just try it out. Let me know how it turns out as well, and also don't be too hard on yourself if it fails the first 10 times, because that definitely happened for me as well when I started doing nails and nail art and stuff like that. And I still make mistakes, as I mentioned, but I just share them here on my little like YouTube channel for you guys to know that it's okay to make mistakes, and it doesn't matter how long you've been doing nails. I've been doing them for over 2 decades and I still mess up every now and then, and that is mostly because I don't have the time to do this on a daily basis anymore. And yeah, sometimes you just have to like reduce yourself a little bit when it comes to stuff like that, and just try it again and mess up and make mistakes and learn from it again, you know? But yeah, it's quite a rambly video. I'm sorry about that. I've had a long week. I've had a long day. I had work. I had my like almost toddler starting to walk. He's getting like 4 molars already. It's insane. Like, this kid is going so fast, and at one side, like if I look at it from one side, that's great because there's another little baby coming quite fast as well. I'm like 6 months pregnant. In 3 months I will have my 3rd baby. Which is crazy. So on one hand, it is really cool and really nice that Aeon is doing so well and his development is really, really going fast. And on the other hand, I'm like, oh, he's my baby. I don't want him to grow up this fast. You know, it's really, really a double-sided kind of view to it. And thinking about it, it actually makes me tear up because I'm such a softy mom. It's insane. But yeah, I'm just going to quit the rambling and continue with talking about this nail art, because not every one of you is into the mom talk, you know? But yeah, I just decided to grab a lighter shade of green. This is kind of like a muted green, like one of those grayish dusty kind of greens. Once again, all of the nail polishes that I am using, including the base and top coat, are by Catrice Cosmetics. I'm not sponsored. I have bought all of these items myself, for the record. But yeah, I'm just going to dab a little bit, like very lightly, like lightly touching the brush onto the nail to give some more definition to the leaves. And of course, you want to make sure you have waited a little bit before going in with that last layer, so you don't mess it up. Then again, I am going in for my roses with the pretty much final step to really finish it up. I am using a dotting tool with more of like a pointy kind of dot, let's just put it to that, and I'm going back in with the base color, so the darker color that we started the roses off with, and I'm just going to kind of like mix the colors all together to give it a little bit more definition. So there are actually different layers to all the roses, and that is something that you will really see in the end result, especially with the top coat added at the end. It just kind of marinates and flows together. But adding these different layers to the roses really gives them a little bit more depth, a little bit more definition. It doesn't matter if you kind of mess up the base, if there is like a little bit of like, how do you say that in English? Oh, I have to think about that word. Like sometimes when you press too hard, there will be a little bit of like a dent in the nail polish. That is not a bad thing when it comes to rose nail art like this, and that is something that the top coat will definitely fix for you, especially if you are going in with a thicker kind of coat like I will as well. Why I actually do so is not only to fix my mistakes if I dented the polish a little bit, but it's also because I don't want like a massive streaks in the end result, because a lot of the polishes that I'm using today are super pigmented, and if you run over it with a top coat, and even though you've waited like 10, 20, maybe even 30 minutes before going in with your top coat, the pigments from those colors can still streak across the entire nail surface. And to prevent that, I am going in with quite a thick layer of top coat. Another thing I want to add, I just wanted to make them a little bigger, the roses, a little bit more like oomph, a little bit more poofy, if you know what I mean. So I'm actually going in with a little bit of the darker color again, and just outlining some like looser petals, if you want to call it like that. You'll get what I mean by that, but just looking at the footage, I'm just leaving a little bit of like open space to make some like looser petals. I have no idea if I'm like explaining this correctly, but if you watch the video, you'll know what I mean. People, it is late already. It is almost 11 p.m. on a Friday night, a few days before this video will go up. I've had my mom day today, the second one in a row, and I'm quite tired, I have to say. But I really wanted to get this video edited and just uploaded and scheduled in for you guys, because I miss doing full length videos like this, and I've definitely missed doing nail art designs. You can definitely see since this year 2025 I'm really getting back into my personal nail art schwung, and I just love doing nail art designs, and I love that you guys are so enthusiastic together with me, even trying out nail art designs too, or recreating the ones that I did and sending me pictures on Instagram. Definitely feel free to do so. Sometimes it might take a little while before I can actually react, because I am quite busy like in my offline life, but do know that I do see all of them. And if I sometimes don't react at all, it might be because we are not followers of each other, and it's actually in my hidden DMs, and I don't look at those every single week. So if you have sent me something and I haven't seen it or opened it or reacted, that might be the case. Just send another one so it will go back to like the top ones, and I will try to remember myself or remind myself to look at those a little bit more. So yeah, definitely don't be scared to send me any of your recreations, or maybe if you have any questions or something like that, you can always send me a DM on Instagram as well. But yeah, after my nail art is done, and you can definitely fiddle around a lot with a design like this, but at one point you have to stop and just let it sit, relax, and dry a bit. Of course, I have waited, I think I waited like 10 minutes before going in with my top coat, and as I mentioned a little earlier in the video, I am applying a very thick, generous coat of this Catrice Ultra Stay top coat. It is definitely one of my favorite top coats at the moment, not only because it is thick and luscious and it just applies like a dream, but also because it is making sure that my manicure stays put for a long time. I have actually pre-recorded this video. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, 2.5 weeks ago, something like that. I really love doing that. I actually had a Monday off of work, and my little one was at daycare because he's just at daycare one like day a week, and it was real nice to just sit down for an afternoon and just record some videos. And yeah, that is why this one is actually pre-recorded. I have a completely different design on my nails right now. But when I did do this design, I wore it for about 1.5 weeks, and it was perfectly fine throughout the entire like 9 to 10 days that I wore this, just because of that top coat. It is good. It is real good. If you are looking for a good top coat, and even the base by Catrice as well from that same line, definitely check them out. But yeah, this was the entire new nail polish, or not nail polish, nail art video again with regular nail polishes. It is super easy to do. Once again, you don't need a lot of expensive items. You can use some household items if you don't have the nail art tools that I'm using myself. But the ones that I actually used are all from AliExpress. I've had them for years. They were really inexpensive, and yeah, don't be scared to try it out for yourself. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you so much, and I hope to see you next time.